There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. CoinFlip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenient store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
Whether you're brand new to cryptocurrency or an expert, Hodl is the app for you. Are you tired of dealing with the exchanges, their unreliability, and high fees? Welcome to the new cryptocurrency standard. Hodl is your one-stop shop for accumulating cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. This is the easiest way for you to accumulate crypto and manage it. Download the Hodl app now. Create your profile, link one or more bank accounts, set up your dashboard, and let Hodl do the rest. It's easy and fast. Hodl provides multiple ways to purchase and accumulate crypto. Included are advanced automated buying features along with direct market buys. You have total control of your money and which cryptocurrencies get purchased, with options including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tether, Ripple, among others. Use the Roundup feature to automatically purchase crypto with your spare change after making everyday purchases. Easily increase your Roundup growth by using the Boost Growth option and boost your Roundups by either 2, 3, or 5 times. The Autopilot feature allows you to purchase crypto based on the amount and frequency you choose. Set it and forget it. Buy and sell in real time. The coins you buy are the coins you get. Hodl holds 100% true blockchain purchases. No downtime. Super secure. Lower fees, and you get 24/7 support. Hodl makes it easy for you to create and manage a diversified cryptocurrency portfolio. Look forward to future enhancements coming soon, as well as additional cryptocurrency options. Download the Hodl app today and get started now.
All right, and we're live. How goes it, bro?
Boom. Stoked to be here. Thanks for having me, man. How are you doing?
I'm well, enjoying the day. Just want to let everybody know if they're watching this right now, don't forget if you do a retweet and drop a comment every single day, somebody wins some Bitcoin. And shit like that's been inspired by you, my bro. So let them know a little bit because like I want to get into and tell them if they didn't get a chance to get their free Bitcoin from eToro for the LA Blockchain Summit, maybe you could FOMO them into making sure they don't miss it next year.
Boom. Rain in Bitcoin. Yeah, actually, I think that if you go now still for a short period of time, you can still go to lablockchainsummit.com/free and do that whole thing. It's a combo of eToro and Celsius. So it takes a few days and it is a little bit of a pain. You got to do KYC and all that stuff. It isn't the most fun, but we found a way to give everyone free Bitcoin, which is the goal.
Dude, I remember talking to you like either a year or two, probably 2 years ago, and then last year again about like you doing something like this where you're like, every time somebody comes, they're gonna get Bitcoin. I'm gonna figure it out, man. And you figured it out.
I've been trying for years. So like we had it like almost ready to go before the last summit over a year ago, and compliance lawyers and people got in the way, and it the best we could do was give people free tickets if they went through it, which we kind of do anyway if you know us. Because that's kind of the whole point of the conference anyway. And so this year I was just like, we got to make it happen, and I figured it out with the eToro people, and it was all good. Oh, Joseph just texted me to say hi to you for him. Joseph,
hey, how goes it? I was just looking at what eToro has been up to lately because when I saw them kind of partner up with you and what Celsius was doing and all with the whole giving everybody Bitcoin thing, I found out during that little rabbit hole that eToro is doing some crazy shit with Good Dollar, and then I signed up for Good Dollar, and now I have like hundreds of free Good Dollar that are backed by DAI. So I don't know if you've been checking that out at all, but like I can't stop talking about it, and everybody I know has a bunch of Good Dollar.
I gotta claim mine actually, but what they're doing is really cool. We met with Yoni when we were in Israel actually, pre-COVID, so it was like a lifetime ago. And he was telling us a little bit about it, and Ziv, who works with one of our companies, was a part of it too, and it's freaking awesome. Anna from Good Dollar spoke at the conference, and it's crazy cool. They're essentially like, the general idea, this isn't their words, it's mine. I think they just went like, fuck it, if nobody's going to do a universal basic income kind of thing, we're just going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And to them, it's like, why? They believe it should exist, but like if US does it or something like that, it's cool, but it's still not international. It's not for everyone. And even the poorest amongst us in the US are not, are privileged compared to the poorest amongst the rest of the world. So they basically decided to try and use crypto for good and create this universal basic income for the world, which is really freaking epic, and I hope they succeed.
Yeah, and it's really easy. I see so many people claiming, and it's all powered by like DeFi, which is really cool because you can opt in to help contribute to the pool that is UBI, or you could opt in to claiming that you need some help from it, or I just the give and the take, opt in, opt out, and the fact that it's for everybody, or not just one government, one nation, but a world. I am excited to see the, I guess the independent use cases, right? Because like right now, everyone I know is kind of like on Twitter, like, where do I cash in or cash out? And then I'm looking, well, there's artists that accepted to make art. I found people that will sell me their NFTs for Good Dollar. So it's already becoming this like barter currency, grassroots style. And I don't know, it's really cool. I found really amazing artists in the community that accept Good Dollar.
Hell yeah. So actually, I was just playing with OpenSea because I was creating a collection for some big secret thing we're doing in the next few days for LA Blockchain Summit. Not that secret, obviously, but I'm goofing around with creating collections. And I was on OpenSea, and you can choose the different currencies you can take. So I'm gonna make sure after this to set Good Dollar on there.
that'd
they
be
participate
awesome.
in the conference. They're awesome. So it's so cool though, because I've actually met a few people, and we're working with a dude. I don't know if you've seen him on Twitter. His name is Dr. Adel El Miziri. He's here in the United States. He's in Nashville, but his family is from Alexandria, Egypt. I'm only saying that because my grandma was born in Alexandria, and we figured that out, and that was kind of cool. But anyway,
Small world, much.
it's crazy weird, right? So like anyway, he was talking about DeFi for social good and DeFi for social good, and he came up with some rad concepts. And he actually announced it at the summit also, and the website for that is dln.org, because he's contemplating creating like a DAO around this, what he calls decentralized lending network. That basically the whole premise of the thing is, how can we use DeFi to give free loans to people in the developing world? So like there's these micro lending networks like Kiva and things like that. There's fees involved.
Yep.
And when people participate, they have to basically donate. Well, like what if I could participate in this lending network and actually earn a little money, and the person who's getting the loan pays no fees whatsoever, and everyone can win? Like, and that's using, completely just cutting out the banks and streamlining the processes and stuff like that.
Yeah, who's really cutting out though is people like the Red Cross, who have been siphoning money from people that want to do good with their spare change, and we've literally seen them exposed during events like Hurricane Katrina, and with blockchain.
Yeah, more than the Red Cross, the carriers and networks who make money off the Red Cross. So when I was doing my last company, it was called Invested In. We powered technology for crowdfunding sites. The good nonprofits spent like 10, 12% of their money to raise the money. So if you gave them $100,000, they actually used like 90K of it, or like 88K of it. Those were the good nonprofits, the ones that were like the highest rated. So it's just insane. Like, think about that. Like, if, like, one, that's crazy inefficient. That's like government style inefficient. Like, it's just crazy, right? And then that money is going to service providers and stuff like that. And so if in DeFi we can cut out the fees and the middlemen and basically go like, you know what, like I'll take 0 yield myself, or I'll take 2% yield, which is still way, way, way more than any bank account will give me anyway. And I can help out this community of people who are giving microloans in Africa. Like, how fucking epic is that compared to, and if you think about this, you're staking your money, right? You're not actually giving the money as a donation.
Exactly. I was just going to get to that.
Yeah. So like imagine going, you love the Red Cross or Katrina effort or something like that. If you have $100 in your savings account, you can put the interest on that $100 to support the nonprofit and still keep your $100. Or at any time, like you need to pay your rent, you can cash that back in and pay your rent. It can force us to think like, where are you staking, your stuff? That's actually the concept that Adel was outlining and creating. It's called social staking.
Yeah, staking for charities. So almost like using it for a savings account rather than just giving your money away. You're saving it here, and the interest that it earns for saving it in this particular location can be given to those that need it, and maybe allocate some back to yourself, but it's still your money. It's your piggy bank. It's just helping others along the way. And I think as we see, increased pressure on millionaire taxes, they're going to be looking for, whatever loopholes to give money away so they could write money off later. And this is one more way that they could do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with this being an incentive to trigger people to store money in particular ways that do good.
Yeah, I mean, like they do it already, like the weird tax stuff where you give money to nonprofit, which in a way, like you go like, okay, I'd almost rather somebody pay less taxes and give money to good nonprofits. Exactly. And I think that the people who do it, like they look at these nonprofits like Red Cross and whatever, and want probably more efficient and better options. So if you can do it, then that's even better. Like, though I think it's the same, it can go the same way of like the banks, right? Like the banks are going to have two options in the coming years. They're either going to go out of business, or they're going to have to learn to compete with DeFi. the way they had to learn to compete like 10 years ago with online credit unions and stuff. But now this is like efficiency on a whole different level. Like those credit unions are shit compared to what we're doing in DeFi. So let's hope that that happens, right? Like a certain percentage of people, our parents and stuff, probably won't get into DeFi, or at least in a crazy meaningful way.
Right.
But like all of our friends and people younger than us and stuff like that will, because it's getting easier and easier. And so the banks are going to have to compete, because like at the end of the day, like if there was insurance by the government on your money in the bank, or insurance by some other organization, you'd probably trust the other organization more than you would the government.
Yep.
That's the only thing keeping us in the normal banks right now, is like, oh shit, that's FDIC insured. But the second there's good insurance on DeFi products that you trust, it's game over. Like,
is that happening? Do you like see a timeline on something like FDIC on crypto insurance? Because even getting into like the futures of it, or like, you know, Robinhood and how they're getting involved, it still doesn't feel like, to people that are holding it, that safe, right? So imagine actually having a MetaMask wallet, and then something goes wrong with like the MetaMask code, or there's something wrong with your blockchain, the browser, right? So funds are not safe. Who is responsible?
That's the crazy thing. Well, like there is Nexus Mutual and some of those things happening right now on chain, and like they don't protect individual wallets, but they'll protect protocols and even pools. So like you can get insurance on a Uniswap pool. So if that pool liquidates, like gets hacked somehow, because Uniswap failed, you could get your money back from the insurance.
Okay.
Like you can already do that. That's like, I think that's a small step, but like it's kind of like DeFi. Today I go on there and I'm like, I can earn 6.25% if I buy DMM's M tokens, right? Like I always joke, I use METH as the example because it's the funniest token out there. It's METH, right? So I can buy METH and earn 6.25% interest on my ETH with METH. But if I farm it and I stake it, I can earn even more rewards, like BMG tokens and things like that. And to me, I'm going like only earn 6.25% or do more, right? But 6.25% to anybody else outside of our crazy bubble of a world is epic, right? Compared to what banks and stuff are giving. Like I could get a loan for my house for way less than that. And if I wanted to, or my condo, I could somehow do some move where I can make money off the loan on my house. I wouldn't do that because that's crazy irresponsible and too nutty. But people do stuff like that. But where I'm going with this is right now, to do that, I have to get MetaMask. I have to do sign up. I have to know how to use crypto. I've got to like go to Coinbase or Cash App or one of those things, get USDC, figure out how to, or ETH, do all that stuff, right? But like, I'm working on something. One of our portfolio companies is going to, hopefully, when we get approval any day now that the banks are slowing down, by the way, you'll be able to actually deposit US dollars, and behind the scenes in an automated fashion, we do the hard part. And then whenever you want your money back after earning 6.25% interest, you can withdraw your US dollars back to your bank account.
That's what people are going to want right there. I know that the diehard Bitcoiners are going to be like, no, but this is what the no coiners are going to want, and this is the Trojan horse, the Easter egg to get them in.
Yes, and over time they'll go 6.25%, and then they'll. I think of it as like I don't want to use a gateway, right? Like a band, right? Like everybody falls in love with some hipster band, whatever. But the hardcore people, or not hipster band, but like a popular band gets like, I think of it in the punk rock world, right? And I'm wearing a Nardcore t-shirt. These are punk bands from Oxnard, California. You've never heard of any of them, right?
No.
Every single one of them probably talked shit about Blink-182 or Green Day when they got crazy popular, right? And everybody's like, oh, those guys are posers. They're not real punk bands, whatever, right? Like that's how it is with every subculture group, depending, it doesn't matter what it is. We're all
right. The tribalism's always
like,
there.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, that shit's not cool. That's not Bitcoin. That's
right. That's not what Satoshi would do.
Exactly. Right. So, but how many people get sucked into DeFi, or how many people 2-3 years ago bought Bitcoin because of the hype, and most of them are gone, right? Like most of them fly by night, like, oh, I saw some hype, I lost money, I made money, whatever it is, but they're gone already because it got boring for a certain period of time. But there's a certain percentage who went way down the rabbit hole, who are still here with us, who are just as big as nerds as us right now into this stuff. And that's what's going to happen with that stuff. People are going to get sucked in because of the shiny object. Yeah. And then it's going to, like, you can't unring that bell. Like, once you start doing it, you start learning it. And I think that's going to get...
Came for the profit, stayed for the freedom, I think is pretty much how we've all fell down the rabbit hole. You know, wait, you made how much money in Bitcoin? Let me buy one of these. Oh, shit, I can send this anywhere and no one can stop me.
Yeah, dude, and there's like so many use cases that are even crazier.
So many.
Than we're Americans, and the things that we're using it for are like goofing around in comparison to what other people in the world who are like really actually fighting for their lives or trying to survive like a day are doing, right? So it's like once you realize that, there's like a weird higher purpose to it also. And even the stupid shit, right? Even the goofy stuff seems silly in one respect, but it's like you can take a step back and look at how it actually can meaningfully change.
Right, like providing liquidity to a eToro pool and be able to give G dollar or something to somebody in Venezuela who could use it to pay their rent. Like that's happening right now, and it's all because we have this tech. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I'm worried about like regulations and like, you know, where we're gonna see, you know, the government really start to flex. Because I mean, like the president's starting to flex on shit like TikTok. I'm like, well, wait till he sees how fucking crazy blockchain is. I don't think he's caught on yet. Like once he really starts to figure out how much more powerful Bitcoin is, then you know what, like I don't know, he just like tweets one time, I don't like Bitcoin. That's cool, don't learn any more about it, because he went full head on, like ban TikTok. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, the thing with that, in my opinion, and is, you know, he's a crazy asshole who is going after the most popular thing, right? If Bitcoin was being used by as many millions of people a day as use TikTok, and it was as in his face, then he would talk about it, right? So like from that respect, we can still fly under the radar for a while. Where I think the regulators get scary to me are that people, like certain people on the Financial Services Committee, like straight up sitting on the bench talking shit and lying about it.
Right.
Then those people, they're either really, really dumb, which I don't really believe you get that far being that dumb, I think, or they know the power of it and they're fighting against it because the people who paid to put them in power are the banks.
Exactly.
So it's like it's Brad Sherman sitting up there fucking lying through his teeth like an asshole and trying to tell us that it's only used by criminals, that law enforcement doesn't like it and all this stuff. But you talk to law enforcement and they would much rather people be using Bitcoin than using dollars because it's easier to track and trace. And they're totally full of crap, right? And so, you know...
Yeah, Jamie Dimon's my favorite hypocrite, you know? started at Bitcoin's a scam, now it's, yeah, I think we have $100 million worth of it laying around somewhere.
Somewhere under the sheets.
Right.
That's the thing is like those guys are really easily predictable because it's like it's in their business model. The politicians, I feel they're just even dirtier because it's like it's they tell you that they're there to protect you, right? This is the Financial Services Committee that's supposed to consumer protection, right? Like it's supposed to protect us, but they're literally doing the opposite. Like it's that drives.
Do we have to support our crypto politicians? Because I know right now we got Brock to vote. You know, Brock Pierce is running for president. Obviously, he may not win, but I don't think you need to win to win. And I think he has a good point with that.
I think I did one of the closing days with him, like a fireside chat at the summit. And I think that if I read between the lines correctly, the idea is to plant the seeds that independence can have some meaningful impact. And there is some weird sideways ways where if there's like a tie between the major parties, the third party can come in and slide and do something, which, you know, that's like a crazy long shot, but I'm into crazy long shots.
We need the Hail Marys played right now.
but the idea of planting the seeds, like it is really screwed up, like that we live in a country where most of the people only think they have two choices. And the thing that's crazy is everyone is disappointed that they have two choices and they don't like either of the choices for the most part. And so they're like, the thing that's crazy about it is if people realized it's that easy to just come up with a new third party or a fourth party or a fifth party and start, just voting on the things they thought were more important, like it would be really, really epic. But it's I think that's his real mission, is to plant those seeds. But like in general, there are folks who sorry, my phone started going crazy. There are folks like some of the governors and people who are on the blockchain services groups and whatever they're called, who spoke at the conference, who are doing real things, and politicians but the thing that drives me nuts is it's hard to get behind any single person because they all like toe their weird party lines and all believe in half the things they say. The people who hate Bitcoin the most, at least publicly, politics wise, I probably agree with on most other things more, right?
Right. You can't just support a party just because they're pro crypto, and next thing you know, maybe they're taking away something else while giving you a something like that. So you're right. I see it.
But no, that's how like weird politics works right now too, and everyone has to like hate each other if they disagree on one subject, but they might be totally agree on another subject, and there's no like finding common ground, which is really weird in today's politics. But in general, I think one, like we all know that they can't stop it. Even those crazy governments, like you mentioned Venezuela, like there are people making money with Bitcoin online in Venezuela, and their government banned it a long time ago.
Yeah, but their government just stepped it up. Did you see their mandatory pool? So like if you're a Bitcoin miner in Venezuela, you may have to contribute to like the Venezuelan government Bitcoin pool. And if you get caught not doing that, you fucked. You have to get like a license. You have to have like it's going to be weird. So like as soon as I heard about that, I was like, wait, how far are we from the United States saying if you want to be a Bitcoin miner, you have to contribute to the USA BTC pool?
That's insane. But how many people, at least in Venezuela, are mining like people, like the common people? I would feel like you already have to be a little bit corrupt in the political, arena to be able to do that. I think most people in Venezuela earning Bitcoin are doing it by like playing games or doing like like gig jobs online, like Fiverr style shit and things like that.
Yeah, I hire a lot of artists from all around the world that make cool art, or I buy NFTs from artists that like live in crazy places. Like I think one of the coolest things I've ever tried to explain to somebody about like the power of crypto is like I bought a piece of art from somebody who lived in North Korea. You do that with PayPal or Wells Fargo and I'll wait. I'll just sit here and wait. And then let the post office mail that art from there to here and I'll wait. Because I got it and I own the asset and he has the currency that I sent him, and it's borderless without giving a fuck. It's not just borderless because it works. Like it's borderless because it doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. I can send money from here to North Korea and get work done. And that I thought was like really empowering as like a person of the world. Like I live on the internet. I'm a citizen of the internet. I'm not just an American. I'm an internet American.
That's right. Well, that's the thing. Like that's where I think the future is going. And in the short term, they'll fight against it. But at a certain point, like, I think that's where it's going to go. Like this digital jurisdictions, right? Like I'll choose. Like if maybe it's 100 years away. I don't know. But I feel like everything's accelerated now. But like imagine a world you choose the jurisdiction, and in that jurisdiction, they have a certain tax rate, but those tax rates go to health insurance and universal basic income, the things that I might support, that I think everyone should have. And it's more efficient and it's all audited on smart contracts and public information. It's like, there's no fucking way the school district can waste the money. They actually have to do it right.
Well, they could do it, but they would be obvious. That's the thing. They could still do that, but it'd be impossible to hide it, and it would be on the open ledger. We could see, hey, you just sent a shit ton of money to rent a center. For what?
Dude, like there was a huge thing here in Southern California. It's a few years ago now, but LA Unified School District did a thing to buy iPads for the schools. Like a certain number of iPads per school. Somehow they paid like 20% above price for the iPads, even though you could like walk to the mall and buy them for 20% less. And like they couldn't justify why they did it. It wasn't like with any special software on it. It wasn't with any special. They just paid extra because they went to one of their suppliers and they went like, "This is the price of the iPad,"
yep.
And that's it. Like it's crazy. Like they spent millions and millions of people's dollars to buy something like above market price. And then what was crazy is I just saw something where it was like in the last 10 years, they got worse. Like the actual quality of education got way worse, but there's like 40% more teachers and 10% less students.
Yep.
And like, or not more teachers, more administrators.
Right, more administrators, yeah.
So there's like more people, shuffling papers, but the education is worse and there's less students. Like, which doesn't make any sense, right? And like, I'm all for all these things. Like I'm 1000% for all these things should be provided by the public. Like I'm not for like all the private schools and all the things like that. Like I want it to be available to everyone.
Well, I think that's what the blockchain will do. Is I think it will open source education completely. We won't have like the same issues as like college textbooks trying to be bought and sold on secondary markets, and you never know if it's a fake history book for your college year. You never know if you don't go through the college bookstore. You could just have somebody trolling you with like fake information and selling you a $300 textbook. You could have just paid $400 for and got brand new with the right information. What I'm seeing, and even
a textbook should cost $400.
Fuck, yeah, I know. But if it had, if it at least had the right information in it, it would be justifiable. A lot of the times they have to go back and like correct things, redact things, and like it's 5 or 10 years too late because the kids who graduated already took that information into the real world in mass production. But what I'm saying is like even seeing those schools get these kids iPads and things like that is, I see a world where NFTs are textbooks and they're living textbooks that can be updated and republished, and you own it. You can screenshot it, but that doesn't mean that it will be updated. When chapter 7 gets updated because there was a pandemic in 2020, is your screenshot going to get that information? No, but my asset in my MetaMask wallet will be updated. I will have an airdrop of a new chapter that could be replaced in that book, and now I could, I own the book, I could sell the book. But I think like living information, and where the open source blockchain like really will provide that freedom for information and education, is by saying, well, yeah, you could always take a screenshot of this asset, but you don't own it. But if you at least do, you have updated constant information. You're contributing to the authors of it, X, Y, and Z. I see a lot of gamification happening in NFTs that I would love to see be applied in not just education, but in every aspect of the world. Like I finally see the point of tokenize everything that people have been shouting for, like tokenize. I'm like, you shitcoiner, use Bitcoin for that. I'm like, no, you're right. Tokenize everything.
Everything. 1000%. And what's crazy is that talking about the rules and regulations stuff, like on the DeFi side, where I probably am a lot more passionate about it.
This is a segue, guys. We're getting into it.
Yeah, they're completely circumventing the regulation. So that's exciting. But there is that other side, and as a fund, we're participating there, or like as a venture studio or whatever, we participated there. And that's what's crazy about it is like the security tokens and things like that. Like literally the CEO of NASDAQ says he expects 100% of securities to be tokenized on the blockchain in the next 10 years, right? So that whole side, dealing with regulation, as much as I don't like the like bullshit rules and regs and hoops you have to jump through to deal with there, at least what should happen if it's done right is the technology will streamline that process and make it easy for the rest of us to participate, right? Like you talked about Robinhood for stocks, like if they do it right, we'll be able to get the same interest rates that banks get by buying a piece of a tokenized pool of funds of car loans or some other thing like that, right? Or like, buying a piece of some company that's still private, but be able to because they've made it more efficient or whatever.
Right.
And then you start doing shit like that, and you start making that.
I mean, imagine being able to just have 1/10 or 1/100th of a Tesla stock right now.
Dude, imagine a rad company in another country that we wouldn't have known about a few years ago, but still to this day I wouldn't know how to like give $100 to a cool company being built in Venezuela, right? Like, can I invest in a company in Venezuela? But like, if they do it right, either through DeFi or through the regulated side.
DeFi is the nail in the bank's coffin. I mean, seriously, it really is. It's the last feature that we needed in our Swiss Army knife of wallet features to really opt out of the banking environment. You know, when we say be your own bank, it's not just stuff money under a mattress. It's take your money and do bank-like shit with it, like what Celsius makes possible. I can be my own Satoshi. I can make KenCoin. I could run my own DeFi, call it Ken DeFi. I could run Kendex. I could have you stake a pool, earn Bozak, and with Bozak, I could sell NFTs to you that people collect and trade all around the world. Why do I even need a fucking bank?
I'm gonna launch a knockoff version. You better watch out. Called the Bro token.
I will support all knockoffs as if they weren't.
Or spell Ken wrong, or spell Bozak.
Yes. It's a fork. It's the real Bozak chain. The fork.
Yeah.
Ken Cash.
Bozak's vision.
Bozak's vision. Oh shit! BSV just got competition.
But what's crazy is that you can do all this, right? And we can live in this pretend.
It's LARPing, dude. Elon, I've been doing it. It's LARPing.
But dude, and then we go on to Total. You go on to Uniswap. You go anywhere. You swap it for USDC. And I put it in my bank account because every USDC is equal to $1. And then I can take that certain small percentage, bring it to the real world, and pay my rent if I have to, right? If my landlord doesn't accept Bozak.
You know what I do if my landlord doesn't accept Bozak is I go OTC and I find somebody who's willing to pay 5 or 10% on top of market, and I sell Bozak at a premium, and then I pay my rent and I get paid 5 or 10% in spending money just because I use crypto to pay my rent. You know, there's different ways, and this is the best part. Is like that's why I said it's like LARPing. This is make believe, and if you believe in it, you could play any role. You know, the whole LARPing thing with like Fireball. That's like Bitcoin transaction, and somebody's pretending to be a Bitcoin miner, and this other guy, his role is a node, and we have all these, developers basically are wizards. This is all make believe, bro, and like you could be your own Satoshi. I love the not your keys, not your coin, but I really can't wait for the not your blockchain, not your keys to really start being hammered into people. Imagine building on Ethereum and then having to worry about ETH 2.0 in a couple weeks, and then realizing that the infrastructure that you built for your dApp won't work on ETH 2.0, and you're gonna have to build it all from the ground up. Who's responsible for this shit? Because if Apple did this, Fortnite went right to Tim Cook and said, "Screw you." But it's Ethereum. It's decentralized. So I think we're going to see a lot of companies building their own things, not just to compete, but because they know that if it's not their blockchain, it's not their keys. If it's not their keys, it's not their coin.
Well, so I tell people this stuff all the time because they're like, they'll be like, well, there's people building Casper, and then there's Ethereum, and then there's people on Tezos, and there's this blockchain, that blockchain, and everyone likes to talk shit and go like, it's not Bitcoin or it's not Ethereum, and then the Ethereum people talk shit about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin people talk shit about Ethereum, but they're all missing the point, because at the end of the day, it's either going the direction you want it to. Like, I feel like the people who are talking about the chains like that are there purely for the profits, and it's total bullshit, and it's easy to see through it, because at the end of the day, it's either you're making it more free or you're not. And the thing that's cool about it is, like, how many, like, the last time I did my own startup, I remember people fighting with my partner because we were building enterprise software, and so we decided to build it on .NET, the programming language, which is the Microsoft programming language. But the cool thing at the time was Ruby on Rails and all these open source languages and shit like that. And people were like, why the hell are you building on Microsoft? That's bullshit. You got to be building on the open source stuff. And he's like, because I got to sell it to a bank, or a nonprofit who wants to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody at Microsoft when they have a problem. And the thing is, that's one programming language, and there's probably 100 of them. Like we see it in like every single chain has a different programming language. That's just on-chain language. And in our browser, we use JavaScript, we use CSS, we use HTML, we use HTML5. Everybody is using all of these different scripts just in the browser to do one thing, like right to have the website.
Just go to website Elon.com.
It's insane to think like, oh, in the future it's only going to be Ethereum. That's stupid to think that, because there's no such world like that. Like even now, we use one operating system on our phone, which has a browser, which uses other programming languages in it, depending on which browser you're using. And then on the laptop, I'm using a different programming language, and you might be running a PC that's running a different operating system. And they all have multiple programming languages and multiple apps that compile to that operating system or whatever. And that's what's going to happen. And you know what? For people doing decentralized finance, maybe it'll live on Ethereum, maybe it'll live on X.
It'll live everywhere. The way we're seeing things get wrapped, interoperability, just like how you're describing it with like, using Chrome on an iPhone as to using like Brave browser on an Android, similar experience, and you can still communicate with each other on that with those protocols, even though they're so different. The interoperability still gets the information to the same place, or at least downloads and decodes it and gives it to you on your phone when somebody sends you a message, unless you're on FaceTime, and then they have an ecosystem. Fuck FaceTime. I don't have that. I'm still jealous and jaded. When Android app.
I had an iPhone, and I was starting to use iMessage on my laptop to send messages back and forth, like with my wife while I'm working, with friends, whatever, right? So I was like using iMessage all the time on my laptop. And then I switched because I was an Amazon fanboy for a short period of time. Oh,
you get the Firefly thing?
And I got the Fire Phone, which is like one of the worst phones I ever
had. It had 6 cameras, and it was so bad.
It was so bad. The best thing about it was, at the time, my son was like a baby, and there was like this one thing with like a frog or a monkey or something, and you can move your head, and it would interact with the monkey. And that was the only thing those cameras were good for. But the worst part about it was actually that I couldn't text anymore on iMessage from my laptop, and it was so disappointing. That's what made me go back to having an iPhone. I'm so like stuck in it now. So if you don't already have one, I recommend not getting it.
Exactly.
Then you have no choice.
Yeah, the ecosysteming's not really interesting, and that's why I think when I look at projects and I see that they're building with interoperability in mind, where like Splinterlands is a chain agnostic game. I could use Ethereum, Tron, Steam, whatever, Hive, all different blockchains to play one game, and I don't have to worry about being ecosystems. And then there's some that only want to, and it doesn't seem like interoperability is in their roadmap. And I'm like, well, that's sort of like saying your game's only for Xbox and I have a PlayStation. Why would you do that?
Now, it's weird. It's really weird because you can make a big business doing that. But the thing is, there's not one chain right now that actually dominates. So they dominate against each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about DeFi having $10 billion in it. And that's fucking crazy and epic. That is really, really cool. Like that there's $10 billion locked in DeFi. But $10 billion is actually not very much money compared to, in the US, the alternative investment market every year is $7 trillion.
Yeah. Alternative investments like Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards. So this ain't shit.
Yeah, the banks are looking at this thing while we're all cheering, going like, hell yeah, like laughing.
Yeah.
That's
this
cute.
is a joke within the Pokemon collectors community, right? Like that's nothing compared to what they're up to.
Exactly. But I think that if the smart people should be seeing the writing on the wall, right? Like this is every day that their banks are less sticky and we can easily through a fucking app move our money from one bank to another means that they have less control over us. And the second that one mainstream app, once a Robinhood style person or Coinbase, as much as
Cash App, Jack Dorsey has a chance. I mean, Cash App has a chance.
Exactly. So anybody gets that, unbundles it, right? And they integrate a DeFi product. and go, hey, everybody on Cash App, you keep dollars in this app. If you click I agree, and the I agree and the fine print says we're going to switch it to like USDC.
Have you seen what MetaMask is doing? Because you just described what they announced yesterday. I've just got it.
Swap on MetaMask?
Yeah, they swap within
Oh,
MetaMask.
no.
I'm like, whoa, this is, I know, but this is like so close. I see what they could do next.
So look about this. I'm talking about the custodial people.
Oh,
Because
got you.
if I look at what's the other one, not Cash App that everyone uses? Venmo.
Venmo,
I
yeah.
realized, my wife asked me to send money to somebody the other day, like a friend that was doing something. I had to send like $20, and I realized I have $28.24 in my Venmo. What if they just sent me an alert saying, if you agree to this, click I agree, and you will start earning 5% interest on the money you leave in Venmo. We just fucking destroyed the banking system.
Well, they don't have to
Because-
do that. They already do that without giving you the 5%.
That's true, but I think that legally to bring it into assets that are uninsured, like in the DeFi space, they'd have to make
Right,
it-
but that's what I mean. That's why they're not incentivized to do this, because right now, with the way the laws are written, they don't have to do that. They're pretty much getting their milk for free. Why buy the cow or tip the cow when you're getting
but-
the milk for free?
But if you use Venmo every week or whatever, like if you use it to pay your rent, like a lot of roommates and stuff will be like have one person that pays the rent.
Yeah.
And everybody sends $300 a month through Venmo to that person. If you're doing that and you know you can make money, all of a sudden like half of the college students in America will be earning interest because their parents will send the money directly.
You don't
to
think
Venmo.
Celsius has the chance to do this? Just Celsius themselves?
No, Celsius too. That's the thing is Celsius is doing it right, but I think it's going to actually be as much as I'm a huge fan of Celsius, it needs to be a company that that is US dollar first. That almost doesn't tell you about the crypto until that's like the Easter egg.
Gotcha.
Or, because until people start searching specifically for crypto, but right now I don't think people the second bankrate.com goes, click here to deposit your dollars and this is where you're going to earn 18% interest, because right now what's the best rate for a savings account in America?
0.01.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 0.05.
It depends. If you want to lock up like 50 to 100,000, we might be able to get you there. Depends on how much you have. Yeah.
So that's crazy, right? Like that's absurd. But that, by the way, that's what was the biggest threat to banks like 8-10 years ago. About that time was when you could pay $10 and join the Friends of the Military Foundation.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then you could open up a PenFed, a Pentagon Federal Credit Union account if you're not a veteran. And that's all you had to do. So there was a loophole. As long as you donated $10 to this organization, you became friends of the organization, and you could open up a bank account that would earn you 3% interest. And back then, that was like 2 or 3 times what you could get. Imagine if now, people start to realize they could be earning. When I say 5-6%, it's not because I don't see the DeFi products that are giving you like 30%. It's because there are products that are giving you 5-6% that are stable.
Yeah.
That are actually backed by real world assets and the same shit that the banks are basing their interest off of, except for they're not gouging us.
Right. They're sustainable without being insane.
Yeah. And the insane ones, it'll happen. Well, it's already happening.
It is. I was just going to say, yeah.
Insane ones that last more than a month or two, you start averaging out the interest rates and they end up getting to about 5, 6, 7%. But it's
the ones that stick around do they have a natural balance where they find a safe pulse.
There are some cool products. There was one called the Idle Finance, and I don't know how they're working right now, but I met them a few months ago, and they will rebalance it across which getting the higher yield and stuff. But I don't think they're quite fast enough, and I don't think they're insane enough to jump you into the stupid sushi swap dumb stuff that's gonna end up hurting people more than it'll help. But in general, it's crazy, right? I mean, we're down this rabbit hole, but it's crazy. It's just a matter of time.
Right. Well, let's
it,
talk about the sunshine and rainbows part of it, because DeFi still has like that weird like cloud over it, and I can't wait for the storm to clear. But NFTs, I feel like, have been in this weird fucking hurricane of like unknown. Nobody's been paying attention, and then all of a sudden, I think NFTs started to. Did you hear NFTs exist now? Like in 2020, it's just like that. Yeah, did you hear about this NFT thing? I hear it might take off.
Dude, Poopoo.eth puts out some epic NFTs.
Yes. What is a meme pool, and why does Poopoo.eth want one?
So, dude, that's the crazy thing. Like,
it is fucking crazy.
we've been talking about NFTs for a long time. Like, I got your first
Years.
NFT. Was that like 2 years ago? How
Yeah.
long ago was that?
About 3, maybe, I think now, man.
Dude, so we've been talking about this forever, but all of a sudden, like some switch flip. Maybe it's because we're all like, pulling our hair out, like quarantine in our house and whatever, or it's just natural. But like, I think people are getting it. Well, like games like Splinterlands and things like that. But like, then there is just the collectibles are becoming more and more real. And then I think that artists too, like found this cool new way. And, like, I think it's crazy. And what's funny is that one of the biggest goofy kind of things in DeFi opened up the meme community, right? And what meme is doing, and I joke about this all the time, but I'm dead serious, meme is actually more innovative than most of the DeFi startups. Like they started off as a joke, but then they quickly went what can we do that's cool? Let's bring artists into the mix. Like, let's bring NFTs because NFTs are getting interesting. And all of a sudden they did for the first time, they allowed you to stake a DeFi token to earn an NFT instead of just earning some random shit coin. And dude, did you see the last Sven art one? They sold out of all of Sven's art. He's like a guy that he was doing most of his art on Super Rare, making a bunch
Super
of money.
Rare is amazing too.
Yeah, and then he did a meme thing for free. He gave his art to the meme community, and then they kept one off, and then they auctioned it off. And I think the auction did something like $40,000 or $60,000 for the auction of one NFT.
And that's crazy because that really helps the people who got one with the meme airdrop, really, kind of, right? And now establishes a base value, helps the art. I mean, that's a win-win for everybody.
Well, and then I see it through the eyes also of like my son. He's 8 years old, and he always goes, go to don'tbuymeme.com because he likes all the crazy pictures and stuff. And I'm like collecting the different meme cards. And he's super into it, just like we were collecting comic books and comic book cards and shit like that as kids. But he doesn't differentiate between real life stuff and digital stuff, the way we do. So for him, it's just like totally natural because like every game he's ever played is online. Like he never had even a cartridge for the Nintendo game, right? So like for him, it's just all virtual.
Right, an 8-year-old knows the difference between owning your Fortnite skin and having a screenshot of a Fortnite skin.
That's right. He knows the difference. And so he was with me when I found out about the meme airdrop of that one token. They did an NFT from, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Banksy, but I know it's obviously not Banksy. It's what's his name? The dude that does awesome stuff. I'm gonna check it out.
There's so many artists. It's hard. I know.
I'm gonna look at Rarible right now just so I can give him some credit. But so this dude gave some art to the meme community, and they airdropped it to every single person who had minted a meme token. And my son's like, "What's an airdrop?" And I was like, "We can actually look up the addresses of the people." Pranksy.
Pranksy, yeah.
So
Pranksy's gone now, I heard, right? I thought Pranksy pulled an exit or no, wait, that was somebody else on Rarible because they were right under Pranksy. It's like Pranksy, BitBoy, and somebody else just like rug pulled their art or something. Anyway,
really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Pranksy though. It was right under them.
They did a Pranksy airdrop. I'm showing my son this token. He's like, "Wait, I can send a token to everybody that has a meme?" And he's been bugging me because he also heard me talk to Jordan, who was like the dude that inspired the meme thing.
Yep.
And he was like sitting over there doing his homework, like on the bed or something, and listening to me talking to Jordan. And he's like, "I want my own meme pool." And I'm like, because he started making these silly
yeah, I got some.
these Lego art things and stuff like that. And so he's like, I want poopoo.eth because that's his Ethereum address to get my own meme pool. And I was like, you should send a token that says that. And so we sat there trying to figure it out. And I couldn't figure out how to do an airdrop of an NFT at that moment. So I created like ERC20 tokens. And the name of the ERC20 token was give poopoo.eth a meme pool. And we were like, we did an airdrop. And then people in the meme community were like, what the fuck's this airdrop? How come I didn't get one? They were all mad. And so my son came up with this idea. He said, I'll sell them an NFT, and if they buy the NFT, I'll give them the airdrop. And I was like, that's awesome, because I don't want to pay for this because it cost me like $100 in Ethereum to do the first airdrop.
Oh,
so
it was the Blue Kirby rug pull, by the way.
Oh, Blue Kirby. So my son sold 100 individual NFTs for like $5 each on Rarible.
Fucking epic.
And did an airdrop. Then some random dudes created a Telegram channel for his ERC20 token that they got and started like trying to pump it and screw around with the price and things like that. And that's when we kind of bowed out because I was scared for the like, you know, the scamminess of it. But this
is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, I know. But he's still trying to, he's going to do some cool stuff. He wants to, he still has ideas of working with the meme community to try and create a pool of NFTs that are crowdsourced of kids in the crypto space as art.
Oh, cool.
And he's like, you need to message this person. Does he have kids? I'm like, nah, I'm not sure. I'm like, no, that guy doesn't have kids. And be like, does he? And it's all the names of people he hears me talking to. So it's like our portfolio company. He's like, does David Blesnak have kids? And I'm like, no, he doesn't, not yet. And it's like, so he's like trying.
Does he know any?
Yeah. So he's like trying to get kids of people in the space to send his art and stuff because he wants to do a poopoo.eth meme pool.
A cool way to do the airdrop, I guess, would be with that token though. You can make the ERC20. I could grab an ERC20 and anybody holding the ERC20, that address would just receive the ERC721.
Yeah, so that's like things that, that's like the kind of stuff that trying to do. But I challenged him. That's where he came up with the idea of selling it on Rarible. Because I was like, Dad can't pay for endless.
Oh, that's right, the gas. Yep.
Dude, the gas.
I
forgot.
The
original idea was to send 1 token or 10 tokens to every single person who has a meme token, and it was going to cost me 8 ETH. And I was like, fuck that.
You're going to college instead, okay?
It's not going to work out. But
holy shit, gas is expensive.
The thing that was crazy, though, is he did the 100 NFTs. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to hop for a call in a minute. So he did this crazy NFT thing and he sold 100 of them. Then he did one that was like a special edition that he auctioned and somebody bought it for 2 ETH.
Respect.
So he freaking made more money in like a 48-hour period selling NFTs through some fun.
And made Rary coin while doing it, which I know we don't have a chance to get into, but he's making Rary just by using the platform.
Dude, he literally made more money. Like his ETH wallet went from like $200 to like $1,700 or something in like a 48-hour period. And I was joking with him. I was like, as a teenager, I would sell auto parts and I deliver auto parts. Like that was my job. Like when I was out of school or like in the afternoons and on the weekends, that's what I would
make. At twice his age, of course.
I was like, you made more money in 2 days than I would in a month delivering auto parts. Like that's crazy. And where we're going in this conversation about NFTs is like, that's like, imagine just how much more innovative and the next few steps are going to be as more kids start to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell people it starts with the kids. We need to incriminate them all. Bring all the kids into crypto, incriminate all the children. That way they can't take this awesome tech from us. And by the time the kids are our age, they'll be able to do so much with it. It won't matter what they try to do to the tech. It'll be unstoppable. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to poopoo.eth. Let people know where they can get involved and pick up some NFTs and stuff before you go.
Go to poopoo.eth. Poopoo.eth.link if you don't have MetaMask installed. But if you have MetaMask installed, it should redirect you. But that's his stuff. He told me after school was done today for him that ETH gas was low, so he's going to try to mint some NFTs tonight. That's literally what he told me after school, which means he wasn't paying attention to school at all.
He was daydreaming about his next NFT.
That's right.
He was thinking business thoughts, though. At least he was working while learning.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on paying attention at school.
All right, Elon, much appreciate your time, bro. Shout out to the LA Summit. I wish more people, go ahead and claim your free Bitcoin by eToro and Celsius.
Hey, claim your free Bitcoin by retweeting Ken's stuff and support Ken, because you are the biggest supporter of the space and everyone in it. And dude, I appreciate you so much. You've always killed it, and I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, bro. I can't wait to see you IRL soon. It can't be soon enough. And yes, again, everybody check out poopoo.eth and get your free crypto from eToro and Celsius from the LA Blockchain Summit. And don't forget, retweet, drop a comment. Every day somebody wins some Bitcoin. And as always, have a day.
There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. CoinFlip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenience store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
Whether you're brand new to cryptocurrency or an expert, Hodlit is the app for you. Are you tired of dealing with the exchanges, their unreliability, and high fees? Welcome to the new cryptocurrency standard. Hodlit is your one-stop shop for accumulating cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. This is the easiest way for you to accumulate crypto and manage it. Download the Hodlit app now. Create your profile, link one or more bank accounts, set up your dashboard, and let Hodlit do the rest. It's easy and fast. Hodlit provides multiple ways to purchase and accumulate crypto. included are advanced automated buying features along with direct market buys. You have total control of your money and which cryptocurrencies get purchased, with options including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tether, Ripple, among others. Use the Roundup feature to automatically purchase crypto with your spare change after making everyday purchases. Easily increase your Roundup growth by using the Boost Growth option, and boost your Roundups by either 2, 3, or 5 times. The Autopilot feature allows you to purchase crypto based on the amount and frequency you choose. Set it and forget it. Buy and sell in real time. The coins you buy are the coins you get. Hodl holds 100% true blockchain purchases. No downtime. Super secure. Lower fees, and you get 24/7 support. Hodl makes it easy for you to create and manage a diversified cryptocurrency portfolio. Look forward to future enhancements coming soon, as well as additional cryptocurrency options. Download the Hodl app today and get started now.